Hello everyone! Welcome to the third TM History Icons remote pub quiz. As you can see, tonight we've actually ditched the pub in favour of the great outdoors to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Glastonbury that isn't. But with a homemade green screen and a quick Google image search, we're going to pretend that we're quizzing in the middle of a festival field in Somerset with warm, overpriced beer and unsatisfactory snacks. Tom Patterson, Mr. Patterson Teach, you guessed this theme before you even knew that there was going to be a theme for this quiz. That is very impressive, sir. Well done. Now, I've got to say that today has actually felt like a bit of a festival, certainly for me. This morning, the TM History Icons team were absolutely overwhelmed. I'm just going to pop my beer down, actually. We're absolutely overwhelmed to welcome more than 750 people to join the joint Seneca TM History Icons online CPD session, which featured a range of fantastic presentations that had been drawn from almost 40 separate submissions. We'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who contributed or watched, and hope that you found that giving up some of your Saturday was both useful and rewarding. If, like me, you want to go back and re-watch the presentations from this morning and really get to grips with the masses of information and great ideas that were shared, then you can find that actually on the Seneca YouTube channel. I've set up a bit.ly link so that you can access it there, but it's just bit.ly/TMHI Seneca, and you'll be able to find everything that happened this morning in real time. TM History Icons, so we've got lots more plans in the works, with the next free event being a new series of conversations with historians. The first seeing Tom Rogers talking to military historian Paul Reed. Stick that one in your diary. It's taking place on the 13th of July. Now, let's talk quiz, because that's why you are here. Tonight is going to feature 5 rounds, and to be factored into the final scores, all your answers will need to be submitted on a series of Google forms that you can find at the links displayed on the screen here. That side, there. I'm terrible with this kind of mirrored thing, but those are the links. They're also live in the description of the YouTube video that you're watching, so you can just click on those. Don't click the ones on the video itself, that'll just pause the video. But you can go there anyway. In order to reduce the risk of a catastrophic Google failure, you're going to be submitting separate forms for rounds 1 and 2, then 3 and 4, and a final one for round 5. That seemed to work quite well last time. And that will hopefully also give my fabulous wife, she's just that way, she's on Twitter, Mrs. Allsop Hums. Huge thank you to Alice, as always, is going to give her time to go through all the responses for manual marking before we reveal the scores of the quiz at the end. But to make it easier for her, please make sure that any answers that have to be typed, please do them in block capital letters. It's just so much easier. It hopefully goes without saying, don't look up any of the answers, please. But to be fair, there's no physical prizes anyway. Nevertheless, I hope that over the course of the next hour and a half or thereabouts, you'll have a good time and a chance to catch up with some friends. It's absolutely wonderful to see that established teams have come back for the 3rd time in a row. I know that the handle removers are wanting to make it the double. They didn't quite get there last time, so good luck to you guys. Let's see if you manage to get it this time. You can, of course, message other quizzers by commenting directly on the YouTube stream, or if you're on Twitter, you can use the hashtag TMHiQuiz, and maybe even share a few photos of yourself playing along. Maybe you could put on some stupid festival garb as well, who knows. Well, this is the 3rd time that we've done that, but it's still nerve-wracking to be doing it all from a, frankly, hot and sweaty spare bedroom in Romania. It's absolutely unbearably hot here. So please be forgiving both in terms of the technology and the questions. In case of dispute, remember, Quizmaster's decision is final. Now, I've waffled on for quite long enough, so let's actually get started. The first round is called Festivals and Celebrations. Each question or answer is related in some way to a festival or a celebration. For this round, you are going to need to type some of your answers, so please do remember to do it in block capitals. Similarly, just stick with the standard alphabet. You don't need to worry about adding accents and such like to the letters. Okay, here we go. It's TMHI quiz, third edition, round one, festivals and celebrations. Let's get going. Question 1. Crown Prince Ludwig of Bavaria staged a festival outside the city gates of Munich to celebrate his marriage to Princess Therese, and the festival is still celebrated today. But what is the festival called? Crown Prince Ludwig of Bavaria staged a festival outside Munich to celebrate his marriage to Princess Therese that is still celebrated today. What is it called? Okay, sorry, just dealing with a question about the answer sheet there. Yeah, after the first page where you've put in your email address and your team name, you then need to click next, and that will get you into the actual answer sheet. Okay, and that's where they are. So if it says next at the bottom of the page, click next, and then after 2 rounds, you'll be able to submit. Okay, that was question 1. On to question 2. Dating back to the 29th of June 1710, the St. Peter's Day Festival at Harrow in Spain sees people fight with what? Do they fight with oranges, tomatoes, wine, or bulls? So dating back to the 29th of June 1710, the St. Peter's Day Festival at Harrow in Spain sees people fight with what? Do they fight with oranges, tomatoes, wine, or bulls? Okay, on to question number 3. This is a local one for me because I'm a Derbyshire lad. But since the reign of Henry II, the people of Ashbourne in the county of Derbyshire in England have played what sport over 2 days on Shrove Tuesday and Ash Wednesday? So since the reign of Henry II, the people of Ashbourne in Derbyshire have played what sport over 2 days on Shrove Tuesday and Ash Wednesday? Question number 4. Festivals and celebrations, remember. Max Yasker hosted an Aquarian exposition, 3 days of peace and music, at his dairy farm in White Lake, New York State. But by what single word name is the festival better known? Max Yasker hosted an Aquarian exposition, 3 days of peace and music, at his dairy farm in White Lake, New York State. By what single word name is the festival better known? I've got to say, keeping on looking at that pyramid stage is just making me miss festivals. But there you go. Question number 5. In what year was the last Frost Fair held on a frozen River Thames in London? Okay, you've got 4 choices. In what year was the most recent Frost Fair held on a frozen River Thames in London? Was it A, 1614, B, 1714, C, 1814, or D, 1914? Question number 6. Which Roman festival on the modern 17th of December saw social norms overturned in what the poet Catullus called the best of days? Which Roman festival on the modern 17th of December saw social norms overturned in what was referred to as the best of days? On to question number 7 then. Festivals and celebrations, remember. In which 1973 British horror film is Police Sergeant Neil Howie sacrificed during a May Day festival? In which 1973 British horror film is Police Sergeant Neil Howie sacrificed during a May Day festival? Remember, make sure that you're typing your answers in block capital letters, please. Here comes question number 8. What name is given to the annual celebration marking the day that Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced the end of slavery? So what name is given to the annual celebration, in the United States primarily, of course, marking the day that Union soldiers arrived in Galveston in Texas and announced the end of slavery? On to our penultimate question in the first round. Dating back as far as 1699, which festival is now celebrated with daily parades by social clubs known as crews in the city of New Orleans? Dating back to 1699, which festival is now celebrated with daily parades by social clubs known as crews in the city of New Orleans? So that was question 9 in the first round. This next one, you are going to need to do a little bit of consulting with your teammates on. It would have been Glastonbury's 50th year this year. We've got the pyramid stage up there behind me. It's a Glastonbury question, and it's a chronology question. So which of these 4 options is the correct order of the first appearance of these bands as a Glastonbury pyramid stage headliner? Okay, so it's the same 4 bands. You've got Radiohead and Oasis and Rod Stewart and The Cure. But which of those 4 options is the correct order of their first appearance as a Glastonbury pyramid stage headliner? I can tell you all of them had played Glastonbury before they were pyramid stage headliners. But what's the correct order of their headline act? I'll give you a couple of minutes to take a look at that one. All right, so those were your 10 questions for round one, just so that you can have a chance to review them in case you missed anything. There are the 10 questions. I'll give you a couple of minutes to take a look at those before we move on to round two. Right, I've just seen what the actual problem was with the answer sheet. Yeah, there was a spurious question in there. It just said option 1, didn't it? Sorry about that. It's not counted. All I can say is it's not counted. I don't think it matters whether you fill it in or leave it blank. You could have just clicked through next, and then all the answers would have been in there for the first round, which of course was all about festivals and celebrations. Are we ready? Are we ready? I think we're ready. Nobody's telling us to slow down in the chat, so we'll move on and get going with our second round today, which is castles. Okay, it is a history quiz. We probably need to include some castles at some point. So here are 10 questions vaguely related in some way to a castle. Again, if you need to type an answer in this round, please make sure that you do so in block capital letters. Let's get on with question 1 on round 2. So, question number 1. Which European country has the most castles per square mile? Which European country has the most castles per square mile? You've got 4 choices. Is it Spain, Wales, Romania, or Germany? On to question number 2. The stone keep that stands at the centre of the Tower of London complex is known as the what tower? So what's the name of that tower? It's the something tower. The stone keep that stands at the centre of the Tower of London complex is known as the what tower? Remember, make sure that you're typing your answers in block capital letters, please. Okay, on to question number 3. Remember, this is our castles round. So in which English county would you find Leeds Castle? In which English county would you find Leeds Castle? Classic pub quiz question there for you. Moving on to question number 4. True or false? True or false? On the 5th of May 1945, the battle for Castle Itter saw American and German troops fight alongside each other. True or false? On the 5th of May 1945, the battle for Castle Itter saw American and German troops fight alongside each other. Is that true or is it false? Question number 5. It's a picture question. It's a castles round. What's the first name of this castle? Excuse me a proud smile to myself for that question. Moving on to question number 6 in our castles round. What is the name of the castle that's ruled by Elsa's family in the Frozen films? One for all the parents and the grandparents out there. What's the name of the castle that is ruled by Elsa's family in the Frozen films? I don't know why I've just defined it as parents and grandparents. Of course, everyone can enjoy Disney films. We've got like the history teacher Disney fan club, haven't we? You know, I'm sure that Sarah is cursing me for saying that there is a defined group. You can enjoy it just by yourself. That's fine. But what's the name of the castle that Elsa's family rule in the Frozen films? Remember that the marking is going to be manually checked, so if you're not too sure about the spelling, we'll go easy on that one. Question number 7. A statue of what animal carries a castle on its back at a major road junction in the London borough of Southwark? A statue of what animal carries a castle on its back at a major road junction in the London borough of Southwark? Okay, question number 8. What or which is the oldest inhabited castle in the world? We just need the name of it. You don't need to say the whatever castle, just the name of the castle. What is the oldest inhabited castle in the world? Question number 9 on the castles round. Bran Castle in Romania is often erroneously referred to as the home of which fictional character? Bran Castle in Romania is often erroneously referred to as the home of which fictional character? And finally, we're on to question number 10 of round 2. This is our castles round. It's another picture question. What is the name of the company that recently released this beer? What is the name of the company that recently released this beer? It's just a single word. Okay, so those were your 10 questions on the castles round. In fact, let's give you those 10 questions again. I'll give you another couple of minutes just to run down those. Have a chat with your team. Make sure that you're happy with your responses. And then once you are happy with your answers to those first 2 rounds, you can go ahead and submit your Google form and load the next one that will cover rounds 3 and 4. You should find a link to the next answer sheet on the confirmation screen after you submit your first set of answers. But in case you have a problem, they are displayed here as well, and they're clickable in the YouTube video link. So give that a go, and then I will be back in a moment to explain round 3. Okay then, folks. So those are your first two rounds. Again, once you're happy with your answers to rounds 1 and 2, please go ahead and click submit at the bottom of the Google form so that we can start on the old manual marking. I say we, like it's the royal we. It's not me at all. It's Alice, who is constantly sort of working away in the background, ferreting away, making sure that everything works properly, while I just sit here looking like a Wally. That's my job. But now it's time to move on to round 3. 2 rounds down. It's a good time really to head to the bar or the bathroom while I introduce you to the picture round. That is round 3. It's going to be the picture round, and this time the picture round is with a fanfare referred to as Ladybird Adventures from History, which is the actual title of the Ladybird books history series. What I've done is I've collected together the front cover images of 10 books in the classic Ladybird series of historical figures. You know the ones, they look like that. But what I've done is I've taken the names away so you don't know who they are. Or maybe you do. That's kind of the point of the round. Your job is to work out who on earth these characters are meant to be. I'm going to give you a choice of 16 possible historical figures, and that of course means that 6 of them must be incorrect. They are red herrings. So it's some of the options from the names up at the top of the screen. You've got to match them to the correct 10 historical figures that are there. You should find that round 3 is a multiple choice grid. It's likely that you might have to scroll right in order to find all of the options. Okay, so in order to find all 16 names, you might have to just scroll left and right in order to find those on the grid. I can't find another way to make that work, unfortunately. So there's 16 names, but there's only 10 faces. This is the picture round. It's over to you. Do the best that you can, and I'll see you in a little while. I'll leave you for a bit. Okay, grab a drink. And I'm going to pop over to the festival vendors to buy an overpriced burger and a pint of warm flat cider ahead of round 4. Okay, that was your picture round. Ladybird book covers, not very diverse. Must be accepted that it really isn't very diverse. Very, very good point there, Mr. B. I hope that you enjoyed that one. I rather enjoyed putting it together. It is. We are more than halfway through the quiz now. Which is nice, I think. Maybe it is for you. Hopefully you've been able to get a drink. Anyway, I need to reach that. I've gone full on festival here. Like I brought my cans in the little plastic thing that they come in and everything. Heaven knows why I'm still wearing this stuff. I don't know. But I am. So there you have it. It is time for us to move on, ladies and gentlemen, to round 4. But apparently we've got some data to share, which is just is everything marked, and it's all
Everything seems to be marked.
everything is marked, and it's all okay. It says Mrs. Alsop hums. And so she's going to give me a little bit of data just as to where we are up to after those first 2 rounds. I'm being given a laptop. There we go. That's it. The illusion of us actually being in a field in Somerset has obviously been shattered. Right, so we have some pretty high scores so far from those first 2 rounds, with one team missing just 1 question so far. There's absolutely loads of teams on 18 out of 20. Another load on 17, another load on 16, but just pipping everyone by 1 mark, 19 out of 20. They're going for the double. It's the handle removers. They've got 19 out of 20 at the moment, but with the 18s out of 20, we've got the history teacher book club. Like the teams are sizing off against each other. Both Team Dead Famous and Team Rubenhold have 18s. So too do the Wathlings, the Super MCs, PE Teachers Rule. Nice one, Suze. We're History, and Quiz Team and the Queens. Nice. That's a nice festival band reference there as well. They're all there on 18 out of 20. On the 17s, we've got Naga Machete and the rest of the title there. We've got Simon Sharma's Llama Farmers, Quarantina Turners. You're there on 17 out of 20. Doing very well. Mystery Fowl, 10% Braver, also on 17 out of 20. At the 16s, we've got Cat, Kaz and Raw, Thunderbird 2, N&N, the Rosencrowners, Christopher Wren and his Roman Rotunda, and Handy. At 15, we've got History Boy and Living La Vida Lockdown there, back again after they were here in the first quiz. 14 out of 20 is Prepare a Rocks and the Cali Cousins. Happy birthday to my cousins over in California, who are joining us on a Saturday brunch whilst also doing this quiz. Also on 14, we've got Educationally Blonde, Conway Lux, Unguam Nobis, and then I'm sorry, I don't have time to run through everything else. I'm really, really sorry that if I've not yet mentioned your team, but it means that you're on 13 or less at the moment. But remember, we've only marked 2 rounds so far. We've done the 3rd round, and now it's time for us to move on to the 4th round. And the 4th round is Back to the Future. Now, I have brought with me my hoverboard because this is a round all based on Back to the Future. The film. I decided to put this one together after the History Teacher Book Club film night ended up watching that classic Back to the Future film a few weeks ago. Now, the original film was released in 1985, and then in Back to the Future 2, they travel into the future from 1985. They actually end up in 2015. So in this round, I'm going to give you a series of events. And you just need to work out, did it happen in 1985, or did it happen in 2015, or did it happen in both years? Okay, so was it in 1985, in 2015, or in both? Here is question 1. It's round 4, Back to the Future. So question 1, Manchester United play in an FA Cup final. Did that happen in 1985, 2015, or both? Okay, on to number 2. There was a general election in the UK. Did that general election take place in 1985, 2015, or in both? Moving on to number 3, it's the Back to the Future round. The Australian state of Victoria celebrates its 150th anniversary. Do you think that happened in 1985, 2015, or both? Obviously not. So which of the other two was it? I didn't think that through very well, but never mind. You've got a 50-50 on that one. Okay, question number 4. A James Bond film is released at the cinema. Was a James Bond film released in 1985? Or was a James Bond film released in 2015? Or was a James Bond film released in both? On to question number 5. The Eurovision Song Contest is held in Sweden. Did that happen in 1985, 2015, or did Sweden host it in both of those years, which of course would have meant that they would have won in... Anyway, you know how it works. Eurovision Song Contest is held in Sweden, 1985, 2015, or both? Moving on to question number 6 in our Back to the Future round. William J. Schroeder becomes the first artificial heart patient to leave hospital. Bit of a gift, this one. It's obviously couldn't have happened in both years. So did that happen in 1985 or 2015? The first artificial heart patient left hospital. 1985 or 2015? On to number 7 then. An American wins the women's singles title at Wimbledon. Did that happen in 1985, 2015, or did an American woman win the singles title at Wimbledon in both years? Question number 8. Greece becomes the first advanced economy ever to miss a payment to the International Monetary Fund. Did that happen in 1985, 2015, or both? It can't be both, can it? Not in terms of the way that I've worded that. I've not worded it very well at all. My wife's laughing at me. But did Greece become the first advanced economy ever to miss a payment to the IMF in 1985 or 2015? On to the penultimate question in the penultimate round. A Greenpeace boat is sunk. Did a Greenpeace boat get sunk in 1985, or did a Greenpeace boat get sunk in 2015, or was a Greenpeace boat sunk in both of those years? That is your question. And the final question in this round, question number 10. It's a festival theme quiz, so we need to have a music question. Madonna reaches number 1 with a song in the UK singles chart. Did she have a number 1 in 1985? Did she have a number 1 in 2015? Did she have a number 1 in both? I don't know. That's for you to decide. All right, that was your penultimate round. The night is drawing in. You can see that it's dusk, and so I've taken off my silly sunglasses. And Pyramid Stage is just warming up behind us. As we draw to a close on the fourth round of the quiz. Rounds 3 and 4 were on the same answer sheet. So again, once you are happy with your answers to those 2 rounds, please make sure that you submit. And then we can get on with the marking of those and add them into the scores ahead of round 5. We just need to sort something out quickly for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back with the 5th and final round. You're either going to love it or it's going to really annoy you. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? Okay, we're back. Something went horribly wrong with the camera. Never mind, we have returned. So hopefully you managed to get rounds 3 and 4 submitted now, and it's over to Alice, Mrs. Alsop Hums, to start working her magic with checking those answers off and totting up the scores of those first 4 rounds. And so we come to the 5th and final round in tonight's remote pub quiz on behalf of TM History Icons. We began the quiz thinking about festivals, and we're going to finish with a music round. Now, music rounds on YouTube are really hard to do, mostly because of copyright and like playing tunes out and things like that. So we're going to actually go back to the 19th century with this quiz round. But cross it with a little bit of modern pop music. Now, I'm going to introduce you to a man here. This is Joris ten Have. He is a Dutch gentleman who restores fairground organs. What he then does is transcribes modern pop songs that then get played on those organs. I did warn you before that you're either going to love this round or hate it, because you're going to hear an extract from 10 pop songs being performed on authentic Victorian fairground organs. Okay, I love Victorian technology, and I think that these things are amazing, but Yeah, the sound's going to be an interesting one. So you've basically just got to work out what on earth the song is. This is the 5th round. Hopefully you've already loaded up your answer sheet now for the 5th round and you're going to be ready to go. To help with the auto marking on this round, I've given you a selection of possible answers on the Google form. And for those of you who haven't got the Google form in front of you, these are the possible songs that you're going to hear. So there's All Star, originally by Smash Mouth, Bad Romance, that Lady Gaga classic, Bohemian Rhapsody, Hey Soul Sister from Train, Moves Like Jagger, Mr. Blue Sky, the Electric Light Orchestra ELO, Night Fever by the Bee Gees, Senorita, Shape of You, Superstition, Take on Me, Think, the Aretha Franklin sort of Atlantic soul tune, Viva La Vida, and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Those are the possible choices. There's 10 songs that you're going to hear. You need to work out which ones they are. I hope that this works as we play the video out. Massive thanks to Joris ten Herve, who has done all of this stuff without realizing that we're using it in a quiz. But here we go. You've got 10 musical extracts. Good luck. All right, everybody, those are your 10 fairground pop songs. I know that there was a request while that was going on to play them again, and then it seems that there was some debate over whether you wanted to be subjected to that again. So I'm just in the process of actually putting that file onto my Google Drive. So in the next couple of seconds, hopefully, I will be able to share with you a Google Drive link. I've not got have I got the YouTube up and running at the moment? I can add the YouTube, and I can put, I think, the link to that in there. And then you'd be able to get you'd be able to sort of watch it back yourself from my Google Drive. Hopefully that would work. I hadn't considered that would be an issue, so my apologies there. So let me get that sorted. We obviously have to start totting up some scores quite soon. So what I would suggest is that for the next few minutes, go and get yourselves a drink, have a bit of a catch up with everyone, and I will share out the link to that round in case you're wanting to take a look at it again, rather than everyone being subjected to watching the whole thing. Am I into YouTube? Can I post it into the chat yet? Maybe. Not sure. Everything's running really slowly. My computer's about to combust. Oh dearie me. Right, there we go. There is a Google Drive link. So hopefully that will work. You'll be able to get into that. We'll have a quick 5 minutes, and then obviously you're going to need to submit your form for that round. We need to total up the scores, and then we will be able to give you the results. Okay, see you in a bit. I've just been reminded, thank you, Sean, that there is a tiebreaker question. You are absolutely right. You can't submit yet because there is a tiebreaker question. Sorry, I was caught off guard by the needing to upload the video, but hopefully you'll be able to access that video. There is a tiebreaker question. Okay, and I think that we're going to need this tiebreaker question because the scores are so close this time, and it's a true tiebreak question. It's going to be a best guess. So, the last round that we had, the music round, was Fairground Pop. The last organ that you saw performing is something called the Victory organ. It's the largest touring fairground organ in the world. It weighs 13 tons and it consumes 30,000 litres of air every minute. Now, for your tiebreak question tonight, how many pipes does the Victory touring organ have? It is the largest touring fairground organ in the world. How many pipes do you think it has? You heard it actually on the last song. So how many pipes do you think that organ has? That is your tiebreak question. We just want a straight number. That's all that we need, and then obviously in the tiebreak we will if it is needed, then whoever gets closest would end up winning that particular tiebreak. Again, we're just going to need to generate that time for ourselves to top those scores up. Thank you very much, everyone, for holding with us. Sean, if you want to tweet us your tiebreak, that's absolutely fine. In fact, if anybody just wants to tweet a tiebreak, then you can tweet it to or DM me. That's fine, or you can tweet it to. So you can DM me, which is at Mr. Alsop History, or you can do it to at Mrs. Alsop _hums, and that would be the tiebreak. Sorry, it's all fallen apart towards the end of it here. My apologies. We'll have a look at where we're up to, and then we'll try and work something out. All right, so we think that we've got maybe two more teams still to submit their answers there. Really huge apologies for me screwing up the tiebreaker question there. So if you've not put a tiebreak answer in, then you can tweet that through to me at Mr. Alsop History or at Mrs. Alsop _hums. That would be great, just in case you haven't put your tiebreak into your answers when you submitted it. When I told you to submit it, even though I hadn't given you the tiebreak answer question. Anyway, that's where we're up to. Now we think that we're pretty much on top of everything now, but we've just got to sort out one final little bit of tweaking with the scoring because of that tiebreaker. I think it is coming down to that tiebreaker. So I'm really sorry that you're going to be subjected to the hold music again briefly. I don't know whether you'd prefer the hold music or to have the pipe organ round again. To be honest, I think that probably the hold music is for the best. So we'll go with that just while we double check the scores, and then we will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so just bear with us while we do that. In fact, no, forget that. I can actually start on the answers, can't I? So let's just not that one. This one. This is the one that we need to do. It's all gone wrong. Festivals and celebrations. Let's get on with the answers to this. So this was round one. The first question: Crown Prince Ludwig of Bavaria staged a festival outside Munich to celebrate his wedding. That is Oktoberfest. Okay, he did his first festival in 1810, and then the next year they decided to do it again, and it's gone on ever since. That is the Munich Oktoberfest. We did allow through different spellings of that. Question number 2. Dating back to the 29th of June 1710, the St. Peter's Day Festival at Harrow sees Spain, Spanish people fighting with. That one is with wine. Okay, the oranges, that's in Italy. The tomatoes, that's in a different town in Spain. And the bulls, that's the running of the bulls in Pamplona, so they don't actually fight with them. So that one in Harrow, the St. Peter's Day wine fight, it is referred to as. And number 3, since the reign of Henry II, the people of Ashbourne have played football. We had various different responses to this and various ways of saying it, but we've basically accepted it as long as it's evident that you're referring to the sport of football in some way. Some people really trying to get extra points here by noting that the two teams are referred to as the Uppards and the Downards. You don't get bonus marks in that quiz. I mean, nice try, but it's not going to happen. So if you got football or something related to that, then we let that one through. Number 4, Max Jasker's festival. That one was Woodstock. Okay, so it was nowhere near the town of Woodstock. It was in White Lake, New York State, and this is why the people in the town of Woodstock got really annoyed, because everyone turned up expecting a festival and they needed to drive about 40 miles away. But that was the Woodstock Festival. Number 5, the last Frost Fair held on the frozen River Thames in London. That was in 1814. Okay, that was the last time it was held, and the ice held for 6 days. Before it started to break up, and they needed to flee very quickly, of course, off the thawing Thames. Number 6, the Roman festival that saw social norms overturned, sometimes seen as like the pagan precursor to Christmas and things like that, depending on which interpretation you subscribe to. That festival is called Saturnalia. It's a festival in honor of the god Saturn, and everything got turned up and down. Number 7, the 1973 British horror film where Police Sergeant Neil Howie, he's played by Edward Woodward, one of the best names ever. He is sacrificed in The Wicker Man. Okay, so few different spellings of that, but we gave the mark if it was evident that you were talking about Wicker Man. Number 8, the name given to the annual celebration marking the day that Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, a good couple of years after abolition. but it hadn't been announced in Texas. And so the Union soldiers made their way into Texas and announced that actually the slaves were free. That is referred to as Juneteenth. There are also other accepted names for it, such as Emancipation Day and Liberty Day and things like that. So we accepted the alternatives as well, but Juneteenth is like the most common way that day is referred to. Question number 9. Dating back to 1699, the daily parades by crews in New Orleans, that is the festival of Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. And number 10, the correct order of the first appearance as a Glastonbury Pyramid stage headliner. This was this was tough. Okay, I've got to admit that this one was tough. And the correct answer is A. So The Cure, even though they, of course, headlined last year, but they were also the earliest out of those headliners that you were given. Then it was Oasis, then Radiohead, and Rod Stewart came quite late. He didn't headline until the 2000s, presumably because before that he wasn't cool enough to play at Glastonbury. That's our theory anyway, isn't it, Alice? Okay, moving on to round 2. This was the castles round. The European country with the most castles per square mile is Wales. Number 2, the stone keep at the centre of the Tower of London is known as the White Tower. Question 3, Leeds Castle is not found in Yorkshire, of course. It's found in Kent. Number 4, true or false, the battle for Castle Itter saw American and German troops fighting alongside each other is true. So this was troops of the Wehrmacht turning against members of the SS. And they actually ended up siding with the Americans against the SS. Number 5, image question. The first name of this castle. This is Barbara Castle, of course. Number 6. That's the one that most people got right. Alice says.
That was the one question.
That was the one question that most people got right, apparently. For you statistics nerds out there, Kyle. Number 6, the name of the castle that's ruled by Elsa's family in the Frozen films. That is Arundel. As I said when I introduced the question, we were going to accept various different spellings of that, but as long as it was clear that you were talking about Arundel, then you got that. Number 7, the statue of an elephant carries a castle on its back in the London borough of Southwark. That, of course, is Elephant and Castle. And another successful question there. Number 8, the oldest inhabited castle in the world is Windsor Castle. Okay, that's the oldest one that is still inhabited. Number 9, Bran Castle, referred to as the home of Dracula. Vlad Tepes is the real character that Dracula is apparently based on, and Vlad Tepes apparently spent time at Bran Castle. He didn't. He spent like 2 nights there or something. But yeah, Dracula was the answer to that one. And finally, number 10, the company that recently released the Barnard Castle Eye Test Hazy Ale, they are called Brewdog. Okay. Now, and Alice is going to release those scores of the first 2 rounds while we move on to take a look at why is that one come in there? Why have we not got the picture around there? We should have a picture round. We can go through this. Number 1, that's William the Conqueror up there. Number 2, that is Hannibal. Number 3, over here, this one in here, you might just make it out. That's Elizabeth Fry. Number 4 is not Christopher Columbus. That one there is the Pilgrim Fathers. Number 5, over here, that one is. Do you know what? I'm using my mouse to point as if I'm teaching online at the moment, which is a bit weird because, of course, you can't see that. But number 5 there, that is Bonnie Prince Charlie. Number 6 is Joan of Arc. Number 7, that's the other ancient one. That one's Alexander the Great. Number 8, that one there is King John and Magna Carta. Number 9 is Oliver Cromwell. And number 10, that one is Elizabeth Gaskell. Okay, so those were your 10 in the picture round there. And let's get... You don't want to keep hearing that. We'll get to that in a minute. It's a different window. It's this one here. Back to the Future. That's the one that we need to be looking at. Manchester United played in an FA Cup final in 1985. That's when they did it. Number 2, there was a general election in the UK in 2015. There was not one in 1985. Okay, so that's just in 2015. Number 3, the Australian state of Victoria celebrated its 150th anniversary. That one was in 1985. Okay, on to number 4. A James Bond film is released at the cinema. That was the first Botha. Okay, in 1985 was A View to a Kill was released, and in 2015 it was Spectre. Number 5, the Eurovision Song Contest held in Sweden. That was in 1985. In 2015 it would have been in Vienna, I believe. Yep, Vienna. And terrible Eurovision knowledge there that I've got. Number 6, William J. Schroeder became the first artificial heart patient to leave hospital in 1985. Number 7, an American won the women's singles title at Wimbledon in both 1985 and 2015. Martina Navratilova got it in 1985, although she was Czechoslovakian born. She's an American citizen. And Serena Williams won it in 2015. Number 8, Greece became the first advanced economy to miss a payment to the IMF in 2015. Number 9, the Greenpeace boat was sunk in 1985. There's actually been 2 sinkings of Greenpeace boats, but the other one was not in 2015. And the final question there, number 10, another music question. Madonna reached number 1 with a song in the UK singles charts in 1985. It was Into the Groove. She did not have a number 1 in 2015. And so that is our first 4 rounds, which then means that you're going to have that tune again. But here are the answers to the music round. I promise that these fairground organ extracts are a lot shorter than they were in the first time round. And so those were your 10 tunes in the final round, the music round. We do have our first 2 positions sorted. Alice is just needing to still run through some calculations for 3rd place, because it's actually we've got a very definite first, a very definite second, but we've got 4 teams tied to secure the 3rd place, and so that is the one interestingly, that is coming down to the tiebreak. So just give us 1 minute while we just double check that the maths is right, so that we can get that third place for you. All right, so we've totaled it up, and we've worked everything out. Now, just to let you know, the first two places are there without needing to resort to the tie break. The third position, however, has come down to a tie-break. And the tie-break question, of course, was how many pipes were on that organ? Okay, so the Victory organ, it's the largest touring fairground organ in the world. It's got a whopping 1,240 pipes. You are all very, very low with your guesses on the whole. And so that means that in our third place, I'll just double check. Yep. Okay, so in third place this time, and it did come down to our tiebreaker. It is with 44 points out of a potential 50. Quarantina Turners have managed to get that. In second place, we have Team Dead Famous with 45 points out of 50, but with 46 points out of 50, just pipping everyone by one more point. They've made it the double. It's the Handle Removers. You've got it, Handle Removers. So, there we go. Those are our top three. In first, it's the Handle Removers. In second, it's Team Dead Famous. And in third, it's the Quarantina Turners. Enormous congratulations to those teams. In the next 5 to 10 minutes or so, we'll share the spreadsheet out on Twitter so that you can see where your team came in with all of this. And there you go. That's the quiz. That wraps it up for tonight. It's been absolutely manic at this end. And so once again, I want to thank Alice for all her help in sorting out the scores and all of those calculations and things. But also, of course, thanks to all of you for playing along. Don't forget as well that if you want to watch the presentations from this morning in the joint CPD session between TMHistoryIcons and Seneca, then you can find the recording at bit.ly/TMHI Seneca. A final congratulations goes out to the Handle Removers. You win the right to add 2 times TMHI quiz winner to your Twitter bios. And so, ladies and gentlemen, until we meet again, keep thinking those historical thoughts, keep your social distance, and keep washing your hands. Take care, everyone. Bye!